What class was your service learning for?
It was for Intro to Health Sciences 2.
Leadership Strategies and Change. It's Gen 2101.
Intro to Health Science 2 and Intro to Leadership Strategy and Change.
Leadership Strategy and Change.
The Leadership Strategy and Change class.
Economics for All Ages with Professor Elmore.
Intro to Health 2.
Leadership Strategy and Change.
It was for Introduction to Health Sciences 2.
Health Sciences 2.
Was the service learning mandatory, or was there an alternative option?
It was mandatory, but we didn't have a mandatory number of hours that we had to take place in.
Completely mandatory. It was 10 hours that we had to do.
It was completely mandatory for both classes.
It was mandatory.
It was mandatory.
We had two options. You could either do the service learning or a PowerPoint project.
It was mandatory.
It was mandatory.
It was mandatory.
It was mandatory.
Do you think there should have been an alternative option?
I mean, in a way I'm kind of happy there wasn't, just because at the beginning, when we heard about the service learning project, it sounded like a really big deal and a lot of hard work, and I know a lot of people dropped the class because of it. But it was actually a lot easier once you got the ball rolling and like you and your group planned out everything you wanted to do, so I ended up getting like a really good, I don't know, feeling out of it for helping out people.
What was your project for service learning?
We went to the Free to Be Center every Monday from 2:30 to 3:30, and we would just teach the kids sports.
My project consisted of painting a trailer, which is like a C-box trailer, and building shelves for it in order to make a place for a community center in my town.
Me and my fellow group members went to the Free to Be preschool on campus, and we had a healthy day for the students.
My project was go to the Atlantic County Special Services School and volunteer on 3 different occasions. The first 2 times we went, we volunteered in the classes helping out the teachers with students and the different things that they had to get done throughout the day. And then on the 3rd day we made cookies with the high school kids in the school, and then we went around the school and handed them out to the different classes.
I helped volunteer at the Humane Society of Atlantic County. It's an animal shelter, and it's over by Atlantic City.
I worked at Free to Be with the children.
We worked with an organization called Eastern Service Workers, and we kind of helped them out with, we did like a couple sessions with them. We did things that dealt with people that don't have medical insurance.
Me and my group worked with the Atlantic County Animal Shelter, and we donated supplies and also like walked the dogs and stuff.
Me and my group volunteer at Stockton Manor. It's a nursing home, and we attended their prayer sessions every Monday night.
I went to the ARC of Atlantic County and worked with people with mentally disabilities.
Did you enjoy completing the service learning?
No. It was fun working with the kids, but I don't know, the people that worked there were kind of rude. We felt like they didn't want us there. Yeah. We were just there because we had to be there.
Personally, I enjoyed it very much. I believe that my group did as well.
Yes, it was very rewarding.
Yes, I did.
I did. I love animals, so it was nice to help out a lot of animals and help them find good homes and make sure that they're healthy, mentally and physically, and all that. So.
Yes, I did, very much so. It's fun.
Not at all. It was a burden, honestly.
Yeah, it was like a waste of time.
It was a waste of time. I didn't get anything out of it. And it's not that it didn't have anything to do with with my like intended career. It's just it was just as irrelevant as if I were to maybe work at Burger King.
Yeah, but I'm disappointed in people that worked there because they didn't really interact with us at all.
Yeah, I actually really did. I made really close relationships with the people there, and it really helped me learn about my major and like what demographic I'd want to work with.
Yes, I did.
What did you take away from your project?
That when we're older, we want to work with kids, but that's it. Yeah.
Personally, I took away, it's in my town, the community center's in my town, so I personally took away, it's like this place that, well, the trailer that we painted, it's something that I can now look back and say, I did that, and my group did that with me, and it's like, it's rewarding, at the same time, it's just like good PR for the town and things like that.
It was a good experience working with the kids because that's something I kind of want to do in the future, so it was good to get that under my belt for future experiences.
I took away that I really like teaching with the special needs kids because it really made me think about wanting to switch my major, which I thought was weird because I've always wanted to go into photography, but it really opened up my mind, and I really thought it was cool that we could all showcase our leadership at the same time while we were doing this project.
Well, actually, I took a lot away from the project. I learned a lot more about taking care of animals and making sure that you know, because every animal has a different personality and every animal has different problems and stuff like that, so it kind of helps that I got to learn more about how to handle different animals. And then also I learned a lot about teamwork and communication and stuff just within my group, and being a leader and also being a follower, because sometimes we'd have to kind of follow the people who actually worked there and have them show us what to do as far as the animals came.
Honestly, I didn't take away anything, but I still enjoyed it.
So you didn't take anything away from the project?
I think it was like the fact that it was mandatory though, because we had like a deadline to have everything done, so we kind of just had to go with what we could get.
And it was just, I felt really unorganized and totally on a different page than everybody else. I feel like, with me, I felt like I was doing stuff wrong, because they kind of was just like, alright, find an organization, alright, go. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't really advise us enough, especially because this was just like new to us. We had no idea what we were doing. They just introduced it to us at the beginning of the semester, and they were just like, okay, you have to do this, 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 by this, this, this.
I pretty much found out that I'm pretty much a leader.
I learned how to work well as a team and how to do efficient interprofessional communication, and I learned how to work well with a certain demographic that I've never worked with before. I got to work in a group setting with children with disabilities, so I got to help them and make connections, I guess.
What was your favorite part of the project?
Working with the kids, just like getting to play with them and
Gain experience from working with kids.
and even like we became really friendly with some of the kids. Like they remembered our names and they recognized us.
Yeah, interactions with them.
Yeah.
Getting it done. Having that project finally done was probably the best part. Seeing it in the end, having that accomplishment, having that rewarding feeling, that's the best by far.
Actually doing the project, surprisingly, because the kids were very helpful, and it was a lot of fun.
My favorite part was definitely working with the kids.
My favorite part was just playing with the animals, because, I mean, we'd help out most of the time that we were there, because we went like once a week. We'd kind of help out with everything they just needed to get helped with, like laundry and papers and all like the labor and stuff. But then kind of towards the end we got to just kind of get to know the animals and take them out for walks and make sure that they're just kind of happy and they're still comfortable around people.
Working with all the kids every day.
Well, I really had to think hard about this. Pretty much nothing, but I did meet this really cool Kevin guy who was a diabetic, and he lost his medical insurance, and it just, I don't know how to explain it. He was just really cool. He was like another patient that didn't have medical insurance that met up with the volunteer doctor, and he actually had no idea what to do about his diabetes, which kind of intrigued me.
Being with the dogs.
It was definitely the bonds that I built with the people there, and just getting comfortable with them and having them open up to me. And I don't know, everyone was like unique in their own way, and it was really cool. Working with the children.
What was your least favorite part?
Working with the supervisor because she was really scary and intimidating.
Really did not want to say.
Yeah.
Least favorite, but doing it. Since it was painting and building shelves, it was like manual labor, so that's probably the part that was the worst.
I have to say, organizing the plan for the service learning project.
My least favorite was conflict because at one point in the project, I ended up setting up like the whole thing, and then one of the group members decided to take it over, and I was like, now you want to take it over that we're almost done?
Probably the fact that there were a lot of like sick animals and stuff like that, and kind of just made me really upset because I still wanted to play with them.
Going to the meetings. after that we had to do. It was a hassle to fit into my schedule, and it was just time consuming.
Everything.
I think my least favorite part was in the beginning, actually trying to get in touch with different facilities because no one would really call us back, and we had trouble with that. And really, we didn't have much of a choice because the only people that did call us back is where we ended up working. It turned out nicely anyway, but I know for a lot of groups in my class, they were upset about that.
It was really hard to contact the people, and they didn't really get back to us that often, so that was kind of difficult.
What are your thoughts about the whole service learning idea?
It's a good idea to get like experience, but some of the projects that there are, like, no one gains experience from like your future jobs.
Yeah, a lot of the groups in our class didn't really take much away from their projects.
Well, this is the second class I've done it for. The first class, it was more, I didn't really like the first class because I couldn't really connect it to it because the teacher didn't really do such a good job of describing what she really wanted done, but our Dr. Marchetti, he did a much better job of connecting it and teaching us how we needed to connect it in order to have the final project and get our final grade, so I personally enjoyed that the most.
Well, for this class, it was a lot more organized than it was in my Intro to Health class. In my Intro to Health class, there were, like, the project was due, let's say, last week, and by that last week, I was the only one done my project because everybody else, like, nobody was being real professional about it, but Dr. Marchetti in this and Intro to Leadership Strategy and Change was a lot more organized, a lot more on top of it.
I really think it's good because it helps you apply what you're learning to the real world.
I think it's a good thing. I mean, it would kind of help if maybe people who've done it before can come in and present to people who need to do it, just because I know when I had to do it and I've never heard anything about it, I was really scared to do it and didn't really know how to get started. So I feel like that would help a lot more people be more comfortable and a lot more open to doing it.
I think that it's a very good idea, it's just time consuming.
I feel like it's a waste of time, and I feel like, honestly, people don't learn anything about anything with it. I feel like 9 times out of 10, people don't get absolutely anything with this service learning project. No benefit other than annoying.
I like it because it gives us credit for like what we do. Like, it's really good for all the students at Stockton, and it's just like makes us like, you know, work with the community. It's a really great way to make friends.
I think it's really beneficial for people who do it about their major, and I think for some people it helps and for some people it doesn't, but for me I definitely had a positive experience, so I think it's a good thing.
I thought it was a good idea, it was just kind of hard to handle with all the other things going on.
Do you think service learning should be utilized in more classes?
I guess to get experience, like, hands-on.
It gives you experience, like, communicating and working with, like, community partners. But it's also very timely, and it's, like, hard to, if you're in a group, it's hard to, like, figure out when you can all go together.
I personally believe it should be, but at the same time, like you were talking about in the beginning, having an alternative. If you're going to utilize it in more classes, there's going to have to be there's got to be an alternative, because some students it's just impossible for them to get it done.
Yeah, I think it should be.
I do, as long as you can apply it to what you were doing.
I do. I think a lot, like, I can understand why I was used in this class, but I feel like in a lot of classes that are definitely kind of directed more towards a major, they could kind of do service learning and kind of go to different places involving their major, I guess.
Yeah, why not? It's a good opportunity for people to get out there.
No.
No. Because
why?
it was very stressful.
Yeah, I really think, especially as you get older and like go into your careers, I think that's when it really becomes more important. Like if you're a junior or senior, I think they should utilize it more then.
Yeah, I guess so. I thought it was a good idea.
Do you have any recommendations for the service learning department?
More options when picking your community partners, so there's other things that you can do.
To make it mandatory for like different group members to do like different things, like one group member fill out the timesheets, or like the other group member do the contract and different things like that.
Kind of like what I said before, if you could have like people who've either done service learning or has experience working with people who've done service learning, just to kind of go in and talk to people who need to do it that haven't done it yet, just because I feel like a lot more people would be open to doing it.
Just be more organized about it if they do continue it. And actually have people that want us to work with them.
All
It
right.
seemed like all the organizations, like we were just as much of a burden to them as they were to us, as this project was to us.
No, I think it's pretty good. It's all. I don't think there's anything that needs to be fixed.
I think maybe they should contact the organizations beforehand so that it's easier to contact them and figure out what they need. Because, like, I feel like my personal thing, we didn't really have good communication with them, and I didn't think they really... The other people, like, before ARC, I don't think they really needed any volunteers, and, like, ARC was the only one that really got back to us.